All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is good? What is good? What is good? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV. Back again, once again, with probably one of the most profound videos that I've seen about the elections since the elections have commenced. Now, as many of you guys know, anybody who's been following up on Philippine politics and or the election that was just finished the last couple of days, you will know that Bongbong Marcos and Inday Sara Duterte are your president and vice president, respectfully. Now, um, in the Philippines, there's a little bit of a divide, I will say, in reference to how people feel about the current political landscape and the current political leaders that are going to be leading the country for the next 6 years. There's just some animosity towards, history, prior, things that have happened in the past. And, a lot of people are coming out and expressing themselves in such an emotional manner. But one thing that people, or what I should say, Filipinos are starting to do is they have this undeniable belief that what's happening in the country now was going to affect the Philippines on a global scale, i.e., they have this thing or this belief that foreign countries are going to pull their businesses out of the Philippines in such a way that somewhat is going to cripple the economy, or people don't believe in the current political landscape or the current politicians that are going to be in office for the next 6 years. So you have people that believe investments are going to go down, and the economy is going to go down as a result because there's not going to be as much foreign investment because of who's in charge, right? But my young lady shared this video with me earlier on, and I got to share it with you guys because this guy here speaks volume and truth to the point that it's undeniable that the way he feels, honestly, is kind of how I feel about Philippine politics, just me as a foreigner, okay, in reference to what Philippine politics means to me. Again, I'm a little bit more into it only because I lived in the country for a significant period of time. But outside of that, man, like how I believe foreigners generally view Philippine politics is a lot like how this gentleman is going to share in this video. I want you guys to listen. I hope that the volume plays through loud and clear. Take a moment to listen to this young lady have this conversation with this gentleman. I did not get his name. It'll probably show up on the screen, hopefully. All right, so listen in.
Given the background and history of the leading candidate, Bongbong Marcos, do the results today in a way damage or hurt the Philippines' credibility? I mean, will some of our trading partners say, you know what, this country is not a country we want to bet on as much anymore?
Yeah, I'm going to be kind of mean, but very honest. Nobody cares internationally. We're a rounding error. That's the bad news and good news. If, let's say, there was a big change in India, a big change in Korea, yes, that matters. We are kind of not that important.
Now, the gentleman here is an international investment banker. His name is Steven. Do not ask me how to pronounce his last name. Y'all see it on the screen. But basically what he's saying is, to an extent, in my opinion, this is what I believe he's saying, that Filipinos believe that their level of importance on the international scale is somewhat more important than it actually is. Now, he's going to go in further detail about it. But basically, if you look in the comment section of my last video, a lot of my foreign friends, like they said in the video, they genuinely do not care who won the election. For us as foreigners who are just your casual travelers, let's start there. Your casual travelers, we don't care. We don't care who's in office. As long as that person allows us to come into the Philippines, we genuinely do not care. But I want you to hear exactly a little bit more about what this gentleman has to say, because I think that he hits on key talking points that a lot of people are missing, especially those that are really close to the election and those that are really invested into it and maybe their candidate didn't win. You're going to start to hear him say some things, like he said, it's going to come off harsh, but it is the general reality as it pertains to the world, as opposed to the world in a bubble of just the Philippines.
I'm sorry to be so blunt. We're not a great source of exports. We're not a great source of imports. We're just an exporter of people.
Y'all have heard me say a million times, man. Philippines' biggest export is its people. OFW, you know it. I'm not breaking news here, y'all, and he's not either. Just know the Philippines' biggest export is its people, like labor, manpower, and things like that. And if you think otherwise, please do your research. People who are sharing their opinions about it, like he said, it's a small group of people. Some people who are small that have loud voices, maybe they have a lot of impact, but ultimately the people who are sharing in this thought or this ideology about, international investments are going to cripple or, are just going to be pulled out of the economy, it's going to mess up the economy. It's usually coming from talking points from people who don't really have as much weight in the community as you think, right? But let's hear them out.
We really don't matter. Now, most countries don't matter. Okay, I'm not picking on the Philippines. If something, pick 2/3 of the countries in the world and they don't matter, except to themselves and maybe their immediate neighbors. So in that sense, whatever prejudice there is towards another Marcos regime can be easily dispelled or easily confirmed and expanded. It is
basically, my man told you exactly what it is. If Marcos is going to make change, it's going to come through his policies. It's going to come through the way that he runs the country, right? It's not going to be based on how the views of the international, landscape feels about, oh my God, we have Marcos in office now. Oh, is it going to be the same as it was when his father was in office? I mean, a lot of people, with all due respect, y'all, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. Just understand that it's coming from a respectful place. A lot of people don't remember that time. That was before my time. That was before my young lady's time. That was before a lot of our time. Don't get me wrong. There are a lot of people who remember. There are a lot of people who have done their educational background on it, and they know what it was like, and they know. But the generation of people who lived during that time, to be honest with you, I'm not even sure if they're even out voting like they did because of their age. You understand? And I know that sounds a bit crazy, but I do believe that there's probably not as many people who are around during the original Marcos era that are even out there voting as we speak. So right now, I do believe it's not so much hearsay as it is a lot of people just going off of what people heard from the past, right? Not necessarily even giving the incoming presidential candidates a chance to at least affect change. And I'm going to just say this for me personally. I do believe Marcos is probably far more diplomatic than, of course, Duterte is, because Duterte don't give a fuck. He old, man. He do not care. He go speak his mind. He go speak his truth. He doesn't care about making enemies. I do not believe that same sentiment is going to carry on through the incoming president. All right. So I do believe that the people do have to give him a chance, because regardless whether you like it or not, that's your president. Do y'all remember this whole spiel about when Donald Trump became president? Oh, Donald Trump ain't my president. Donald Trump ain't my president. Motherfucker, he was y'all president for 4 years. Whether you wanted to claim him or not, that was your president. This was the person running the country. So same rules apply, right? Even with Joe Biden, whether you fuck with him or not, he is running the country currently in the United States. So regardless of how you personally feel about how this man is going to run the country, you got to give him a chance, right? Got to give him a chance. So I'm going to let this video play out, and then I'm going to close out with my final remarks.
It's literally up to him.
Mm-hmm. So how do we matter? How can the incoming president make the Philippines matter, if that's possible?
Basically, how can he make the Philippines great again? I'm sorry, I just had to say that shit. I'm sorry. That's the first thing I thought.
Sounds for our people.
Given the background and history of the leading candidate, Bongbong Marcos.
All right, y'all, I had to stop the video, but you get where we're coming from, I hope. I hope you guys get where we're coming from in this regard. You have to do for your own, Philippines. That's just the general sentiment of it all. Y'all have to do for your own. If he has to do what is going to be best for his people. You can't worry about how we think about you guys. You can't worry about how Korea or India or any of these other countries care what you guys do, because in the general sense of it all, we don't, right? I don't believe in it. And although it sounds harsh when he says it, and even when I'm saying it, it sounds harsh that people don't care. It's a reality that I think that we're all rooted in. You want us to care to an extent, and we do to an extent, but you have to understand that the matters affecting the Philippines don't necessarily affect us directly as foreigners. That's all I'm trying to say. What's going on in the Philippines does not affect foreign life in any capacity. Now, when we get to the country, if rules and regulations and policies have changed that directly pertain to us, then yes, you can say that it does affect us. But overall, guys, it's generally, you got to worry about self before you worry about others. And I do believe that a lot of Filipino people are worried about what's going to happen with the Philippines on the international market as opposed to what's really happening with it as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, I would love to hear what you guys got to say, man, in the comment section below. I want you guys to have that like a crack addict. If you guys enjoyed this video in any capacity, please feel free to drop a like. Share this video, man, if you found any knowledge in or anything that you feel noteworthy of sharing. I would love to see the conversation in the comment section below. Love you guys, man, and I'll dox on to the next one, man. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed, man. Dox out. Peace.